All right, so just to start off, as I mentioned, I wanted to take a look at the implementation process. And basically what I've done here is I've grouped it into kind of 5 stages or 5 phases or categories in here. And this is just kind of my grouping here. This may vary from person to person or project to project, but this is kind of a good overview for most projects that you might find. And I wanted to go over each of these phases in more detail, which we'll do in just a moment. And some of these may overlap as well. Things like the phase 1, phase 2 are planning and design phase. That's really, your selection process, determining what you need, who you're going to implement, or what you're going to implement. The phase 3 and 4 is kind of where you developed and roll out. It's kind of the rollout section of the system in there. And then phase 5, kind of the ongoing support and ensuring that everything's going well. So really one thing to keep in mind when implementing software is really not only when putting together an implementation plan, is not only to focus on the tactical or operational side of things, such as timelines and training dates and the specific admin configuration that we're going to have to do in there and that type of thing, but also consider the strategic side of things, which is just as important. Things like the system or process side, such as communication strategies with your employees and those that are going to be involved with the system. Getting that management support and buy-in from them, as well as end-user buy-in. How about ROI definition? How are we going to measure this project? What are the key success factors going to be? So encompassing all of that into the implementation process is very key. Going into this a little bit deeper here, phase 1, as I mentioned, really being that planning and definition phase. And you can see from the points on the screen there, this is really where you're developing that overall project plan. And this is the area that I define is really the section where you're defining that who, what, where, when, and why.